Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. My name is Connie. I am your host, and today we are still gonna talk about Mexico. I promise this is the last video, but this video is going to be my point of view, like me talking about my experience, just because I don't always take out the camera and like, oh, hold up, can you repeat it for the camera? You know, I'm pretty shy. I like to think I'm shy. Before I start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos that I post. Before I get into this podcast, we're going to take a little detour. I wanted to bring up a memory, I guess. So I don't know if you guys remember a couple videos back, I talked about a specific memory that I had from California when we were riding our bikes in our backyard and we took off the training wheels off my bike. So the 4 people that were there that day was myself, my brother, one of my cousins, and then another cousin. So the older cousin recently passed away. He wasn't here, he was in Mexico, but it was sad to say the least. My mom is currently in California. She went because it was her sister, and then it was my dad's brother's son. So just a FYI, or not a fun fact of the day, 3 of my aunts were married with 3 of my uncles. So like, let's keep it within the family, right? I guess, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that in the video. May he rest in peace. Okay, so back to the actual podcast now. So I wanted to talk about this point of view, or this like talking portion, because it's kind of like when you read a book and then like you watch a movie, like you don't get as much detail, and it's sometimes you get like a different your own imagination of the video of the trip. So I want to start with literally last year before we went to Mexico. One of my cousins got married, and she got married through just like civil, and then she was gonna get married through the church. So that was 2 years. So last year and this year was gonna be the church. And so she told us, since last year before we went to Mexico, but we already had everything planned, and I say we as in my dad already had everything planned. So we didn't want to like push the trip after it had already been planned. So all the way since last year, we already knew we were going to be in Mexico around this time. And so once the time came closer, then my dad planned the trip with another one of my cousins. Yes, I have a lot of cousins, and I'll probably say my cousin this, my cousin that. Mexican problems, I guess. And so my brother's right here. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, this is a whole new setup. I am using my brother's stuff today because fucking why not, you know, he has it. So
if it sounds crappy, it's because of his shit.
I wanted to do a test run because he doesn't want to do no test runs. Well, he does test runs for himself, but he doesn't like post them, so they're not live. Comment down below, be like, Diego, post it, like that. If anybody watches this and knows my brother, just put Diego, post it.
But if it's all our Mexican cousins, they're like, ¿qué es eso?
Si están viendo este video, si lo han visto, ya van como 5 minutos de este video, y si no han entendido nada, este es el momento que van a entender.
Wow.
Estoy en otra oficina, y Diego, mi hermano, los que lo conozcan, no quiere usar su equipaje, sus cosas. Entonces le dije, préstamelo, yo los uso, no hay problema, you know. Y él no graba los videos, pero dice que él los graba y no los pone en el YouTube. Y le digo que los pongas, o si están viendo el video hasta ahorita, este es el momento que pongan un comentario ahí abajo y díganle a mi hermano que los ponga, que ponga los videos. No le hace que no se bañe ni nada, pero nadie lo va a goler, it's okay. Anyways, so let me know if you like this setup. I'm probably going to go back to my old setup because I am poor and I don't have this type of money to be buying this whole setup. Like, this is all professional, like, let me take a picture so you can see how professional this is compared to me. Compared to me.
You're gonna be like this at your ghetto ass setup.
Judgment.
Judgment.
So this is his office / child's desk.
Are you gonna see my big old whiteboard in the back?
No, no se ve.
That I got for a steal. It was great. Sorry.
And then his dad helped him set it up.
Fuck yeah, it's heavy as fuck.
Yeah, so let me know if you like this setup. If not, we're gonna go back to the old setup anyways. But if you do, I'll come back. So back to the Mexico trip. So we usually drive to Mexico. It's like a 24-hour drive in total. We drive from here to Juarez. We take a... So we usually stay in Juarez. We get there like 5, 6, 7, 8 the latest. Eat dinner, go to sleep in the little hotel. Wake up in the morning and continue the trip. So it's further from here to Juarez than from Juarez to Zacatecas. I think it's the same. I think it's the same distance, except here we kind of have to go the limit or else we're gonna get a ticket. Versus Mexico, we can go faster, but we just give the cops like 200 pesos and they'll be like, all right, great, you know, like that's how ugly it is over there, to say the least. But my child is calling me. Okay. Anyways, she needed to pee and she couldn't open the door. So, yeah, so once you hit Juarez, it's hot. Like, Utah weather compared to Juarez weather is nothing. If you've ever been to, like, Tijuana, I like to think it's about the same. They're knocking on the door if you can hear it. I like to think it's the same type of weather, but it's horrible. Like, a lot of places don't have AC. A lot of places don't even have a fan. Like, people are so poor over there. It's so sad. But anyways, you stay at the hotel. You drive all the way to Zacatecas. My parents take a detour and they go through, like, they pass Zacatecas and then, like, they go around to Durango and then they go in. I think it's just because there's a path that is just ugly. We were there. I don't know exactly what days we were there, but I know we were there for a couple of days. We went to Plateros, which is like about an hour away. Oh no, just kidding. No, we didn't. We went to, let's see, I can look at my pictures and tell you exactly about what we did. Only because I didn't make a list of it. I just kind of wanted to, like, say it out of my thoughts. So the day after we got there was my cousin's confirmation, like their confirmación. If you're Catholic, you know you do your first communion, your confirmation for you to get married through the church. And so my little cousins did that. We went to my cousin who lives across from our house in Mexico. So we went there and we had a good time. We chilled, we talked, chismead, laughed, cried probably. But it was like the day after we got there. So we were still kind of fresh. We were still fresh meat. And then we went to Durango. Durango is like 45 minutes away.
You want to Coke?
No, I have nothing.
You want a Canada Dry?
I don't like this.
It's like Sprite or whatever.
No. They have coconut water?
I'm not sure. Oh.
So we went to Canatlan, and my child drank a lot of coca. I'm going to take this picture right now. This is her drinking coca in Canatlan. It was pretty hot there too, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, and then a couple days later we went to what is that rancho called where my aunt is from? My aunt is from El Saucillo. There you go. She's from El Saucillo. Should I even say that? She's from a rancho. You're all sad. We don't.
Well, it's 'cause I thought we did. I was like,
no, I have my lemonade. Thank you. She lives in El Saucillo, so we went to go visit her. She's my mom's aunt. I mean, my mom's aunt. My aunt from my mom. She's my mom's sister. So we went to go visit her. We said hi, hello. She lives in a Hoa rancho. Like, she lives in a Hoa's rancho. Like, there's literally no signal there. Like, you have to go up to the cerro. And a few people have Wi-Fi, but my aunt doesn't. She's a little bit more on the poor side. So we took her stuff that we took. Oh, we took her aunt. So I have another aunt that lives in Arizona, and she was over there when she was in Mexico while, like, she went before we did. So when we got there, she was already there. So like a week later, she came with us to the rancho. And then once she was in the rancho with us, we went to my other aunt's house. And so it was like the three sisters were in the rancho chilling, talking, laughing, crying, whatever it is. And then we ate there. We ate some rice, and then we ate nopalitos con huevo, I think it was. Everything over there. So the nopalitos are so fresh. Like, anyways, the day. Oh, okay. The day we got there, once we went back that same day, we went to El Panteon. We went to the, I don't know what it's called in English. We went to the Panteon and went to go visit my uncle who passed away like 5-6 years ago. I'm not 100% sure, but he passed away, and then he is buried in the Panteon in El Rancho. So we went to go visit him. That's a thing we do every single year. So we go say hi. We took my dog, which, fun fact of the day, when we took my dog last year, Poppy, in case you didn't know, I had two dogs. One of them passed away last year, and then the other one went with us this year. So they were always together, but that day, we still took both of them. That day that we went to go visit my uncle last year, my dog was like sniffing and like his tail was wagging. Like, he was like, it's like if he saw my uncle. Like, it was so weird, and like I didn't think anything of it until now that I like my dog passed away, and I was like, oh well, he was probably like, hey uncle, just wait for me like 2 more weeks and I'll be there. Like, literally, once we came back from Mexico, I think it was like not even a week later that he passed away. So yeah, we went to the Panteon. The day after that, my aunt from my dad's side, my dad's sister, they were gonna celebrate her birthday. So in the city, like, it wasn't in the rancho. She lives in the city. And so they were gonna celebrate her birthday. So we got ready in the rancho. We drove to Sombrerete, which is like, honestly, it's like an hour drive, but I think it's because there's like all dirt from the rancho, so it slows us down. But anyways, we went to Sombrerete. We partied that day. That's in the vlog actually. We went to my aunt. It's the one where we sing happy birthday to, obviously. When we go to Mexico, we go to our house. You know, that's a house that my uncle gave us. That's a house my uncle built. My uncle that passed away built that house from ground up, and then before he passed away, he said that house was for us. Which, honestly, I feel like it's for all of his kids in case they ever go to Mexico, because none of them have a house over there. So if they ever go, like, that's our house. You know, it's not just because my uncle said it's our house. But anyways, we go to that house, and then my aunt, who lives in the rancho, my dad is the youngest boy. She is the second to youngest daughter. So there's another younger daughter after her, so like the youngest of all. So my dad and my aunt are like, they were born one after each other, so they're pretty close. And so she was it was my dad, her, the birthday girl, and then she has another sister that lives in Fresnillo. So she came from Fresnillo, she came to the party. So it was 4 of them, and yeah, they had a good time. They partied, they laughed, they cried, all of the good stuff. And then is when we went to Platero. So a couple days later, we packed, literally I took all of my bags and we went to Fresnillo, because from Fresnillo we were going to go to Aguascalientes, and Aguascalientes was the wedding. So remember, like, we planned this whole trip based on that wedding, so we were going to go to the wedding. So we got up that day, we went to Plateros, we went to go see El Santo Niño, which until this day my child calls it the Anto Niño. And like, my dad also did a Santa Cruz, and she says that it's El Santo Niño. And so we go to Plateros, we say our grace, I think it's how you say it, like, damos gracias a Dios, damos gracias al Santo Niño, porque él es el que nos cuida, nos guía, nos da felicidad, I guess. And yeah, so once we go to Plateros, we then drive to Aguascalientes. It was a little bit of a drive. I want to say it was like, I don't know how long. It was a little bit of a drive. So once we got to Aguascalientes, I think we got there on Friday. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, then in Fresnillo. Okay. So once we were in Plateros, we went to go see my other aunt, which is my mom's sister, and we went to go say hi to her. We went to go say hi to her. We said, how are you? We said our goodbyes. We said our hellos. If you didn't know, Fresnillo is very ugly. Now, I don't know about now, but when we went, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. It was very bad. Like there was dead people every day. There was always something going on.
You want more ice on your whiskey? On your lemonade?
Ice? No, it's okay. And yeah, so that's why we didn't stay there. And then on top of that, my dad doesn't like leaving the truck like outside because it has like Utah plates. So obviously they're gonna know that we're not from there. So my grandpa, my grandma and my grandpa passed away, but they have a house there. Well, they had a house there. So that house has a big garage. Like, tiene un portón grande, se abre y ahí cabe la troca. But they had a car in there, so the truck didn't fit. So my dad was like, we can't stay, basically. So we said hi to my aunt. We said goodbye. That's when we left to Aguascalientes. So once we were in Aguascalientes, the hotel. So once we were in Aguascalientes, we stayed at a hotel, and it was chill. Like, we just kind of chilled there, honestly. And that was Saturday, so Saturday night, and then that was Friday night. So Saturday was the day of the wedding. We got up, we got ready, we went to church. Once the church was over, we chilled for a little bit, honestly, because the church was early, and then the food was like, I think it was like at 8. Like, it was a late dinner. For us Mexicans, that is a late dinner. For us Mexicans from the rancho, I guess I should say, that's a late dinner. But anyways, so we went to dinner. We stayed for the party. It was a wedding, but it wasn't like it wasn't like a wedding ranchera, you know, like you expect like banda and like a grupo norteño and all this food. And so it was like it was not a rancho wedding. I don't know what to say, but like, I don't know how to say it, but they had like waitresses, and so like whenever we wanted like soda or a drink or cerveza or whatever, like we would tell them. And so when it came down to serving us food, like they served us food. They brought us they didn't have cake. They had like these like tart, I think they're called fruit tarts. Yeah, so the day after we went to Culiacan with another of my dad's sisters. It was hot as fuck there. Like, you think it's hot here? No. You think it's hot where you are? No. Go to freaking Culiacan, and that's when you know it's hot. Like, you're sitting there and you are literally like dripping sweat. There's no other way to explain it. There's no other way to say it. You're just literally dripping sweat. I guess if you're from over here, then yes. But we stayed there for 2 nights. So in the morning when we came back, it was like 7, 8 in the morning, and there's people wearing jackets. It was like 80 degrees at like 8 in the morning, and people were wearing their jackets. And I told my mom, like, mira ese señor. She's like, oh, sí tiene frío. I was over here with my shirts, like a short, and like I had the AC on, and they were over there wearing jackets. I was like amazed, mind blown, crazy, wild. Anyways, once we got there, and we went through the tunnels that my dad was so amazed of. We saw the se llama el puente. Damn, I can't remember the name. Oh well. It was, look, I even took a screenshot of it. I'm gonna put it up there. I have a screenshot of it. It was Culiacan, Sinaloa. It was 100 degrees at 3 in the afternoon, and it felt like 107. And then at night it said 78 degrees. It was hot. A couple days go by, and then we go to Sombrerete again because like that's the city we live in. Like whatever you need to buy, you go to Sombrerete. If they don't have it in the little tienditas, you go to Sombrerete. And so since it was raining on the way back, there was like a big ass creciente where the truck should pass by, but it was too much water, so we had to sit there for like 2 hours. The 2 hours go by, and then like there's like the first one to like kind of like break the ice of like to see if you're scared for the water to take your truck. So like once the first truck passes, we're all like looking and shit. So anyways, the truck went by, and then like they all went by, and then that was on the second. On the third, like I mentioned before, my dad did a Santa Cruz, and so in the rancho they dance la danza on the third and on the fourth. Allá le bailan a la Virgen del Refugio, like that's their Virgen. And so on the third, since my dad made the Santa Cruz was intended to be danced with I think it's in May, and so we went in July, and we weren't gonna stay until May. So honestly, I literally had no idea. I thought they were just gonna leave it there. But then that day, my cousin came to knock on our door, and she was like, "Nico, Benita, que van a venir por la Santa Cruz." Like they were whispering, and so I heard that, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And my mom's like, "Ya levántate." And so I was lazy, and then so I just kind of laid in bed, and then I think I fell asleep because once I woke up, my dad was already dressed, my mom had already showered, they were already outside vistiendo la Santa Cruz. So I got up, and that's part of the videos that I posted before, but they like dressed it with like I don't know what it's like. It's como tela, and then they put flowers, like they decorate. I had never seen anything like this, so it was all new to me. I was just like looking at them. My mom's like, "Ven, ayúdanos," and I was like, "Well, I don't know what to do. Like, do I just hold it? Do I move it?" She's like, "Es que ponlo para acá y ponlo para allá y hasta para acá y tarara." And I was like, "Pues es que no sé, ma. Yo nunca he visto estas cosas." So she's like, "Okay." And then my other cousin came, the one that was across the street from us, and she came and she helped them set it up. And so when the people that were like dancing came, they la adoraron. So basically, like, you know how el santo niño lo adoras, and like you give it a kiss. So that's what they do over there. Y como la cruz ya estaba bendecida, like yeah, it was an official Santa Cruz. And so they kissed, everybody there kissed the cruz, and they like carried it, like they danced to la capilla. Like, danzaron hasta que llegaron a la capilla. And I told my dad that I wanted to cry because I was just like, wow, like, my dad made that with his own hands, and now they're taking it. Like, anyways, I told him to date it too, but I don't know if he did that. And so they took it to the capilla, they danced, and then they set it up inside because my dad told them to. So the Santa Cruz, they put it like in the cerro, like it's like not by the church. And so my dad didn't want them to put it out there because the sun, the water, the wind, like se la iba a acabar más pronto. So my dad sent the money to make like a como un tejaban, like so it protects it a little bit. So they haven't set it up yet. As far as I know, they haven't set it up yet, but I'm pretty sure if and when they do, we're gonna probably get pictures of it. And even then, if they dance the Santa Cruz in May, we will probably see it set up by then, hopefully. I don't know, honestly, but yeah, so that's the third. And then the fourth, which is the reason we went for my mom, because all day they danzan la danza, like bailan la danza todo el día el 4 de julio. And they actually throw fireworks over there too, so I didn't miss any of the fireworks here in the United States. And so my mom enjoys watching them. Like, if you ever seen how they dance the danza, like they're just like, to me, I like how they dance it, but like it's just like people dancing. Pero es como una devoción que tiene la gente. It's like if you make a promise, and like, you know how there's people that like walk like on their knees to allá en el DF donde está la Virgen, like it's like it's a promise that they made. And so that's kind of how it is here, or not here, but in the rancho. And so they dance it like literally all day. It's like a 5-minute son. They call it a son. They dance for 5 minutes straight, and then they take like a break. They dance again. They take a break, and it's like all day. That's literally what they do all day. And they danced until like 9, maybe even 10. And so that's one of the big things that we went for, because my mom really enjoys watching them dance. Like she gets her serotonin levels to the roof watching them dance. So that day happened. Oh, and then that day venden cosas, like venden dorinachos, cueritos, elotes, esquites, tortas, just if you want chips, fresas con crema, gelatinas. Like people take their cars, like in the back of their cars, and they sell stuff. So yeah, if you don't want to watch the danza, then your fat ass goes and eats chips. That's what I did, at least. And then my brother's right here. He's like, and then that was the 4th. And then let's see. I forgot to mention too, on the 3rd, they did fun. Like one of my aunts used to live at the house, and she and her husband, well, she sells gorditas, and her husband like helps her cook them. And so they made like an outdoor oven, and when they left, my aunt asked my dad, like, should we like break it down, or like it's in your way? And it's just like, it's like in a corner, like it's in a far corner. And so my dad's like, no, just leave it. So the 3rd, they went to go use it, and by they, I mean like my aunt, and then my cousin's suegra. They went to the house, and they made bread. Hicieron como what does my mom call them? I don't know what my mom calls them. But they're like these little breads that are fire, and they're so good, especially when they're like freshly made. And then once I was here, I was like, oh, I made one. They're not the same. It still tastes pretty good, but the fresh ones were like 10 times better. So they did bread. Like, they were there all morning. Like, my cousin went to start the fire with leña at like 5 in the morning. Like, it was still dark outside, and she was over there starting the fire. They started cooking until like 11, 12. Like, we had already eaten breakfast and everything. We went to go take the Santa Cruz. And then once we came back, we went to go eat breakfast at my cousin's house. We came back, and they were like making the bolitas and like rolling them out and like cutting them. And I don't know what the fuck they were like. If they put me to do that stuff, like I'd just be like, you know, guys, we're fucked. We're not eating anymore. So I was just kind of watching them. And like in Mexico, in the rancho, like they follow all the stereotypes, I guess. Like, the girls cook and clean and da-da-da-da, and the guys over there, like, they go work, and like, versus here in the United States, like, if my brother wants to be a stay-at-home dad, like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, obviously the straight up Mexicans are like, oh my god, Diego está de huevón en la casa, you know, but
yeah, make it clear that I'm not, though, just in case.
He's not a stay-at-home dad, guys. He's a dad, but like earlier I was setting up the computer, and like the little girls were like over here talking to me. I was like, oh, see, and then I was like, oh, see, and he's like, you can tell you're a mom. Like, he'd be like, they're over here in my way, and I'm just like, it'll come to you now, like, chill. It doesn't come naturally. But no, he's not a stay-at-home dad. He works. But yeah, so over there, like, they make tortillas, they make pan, they make literally anything you can think of. The girls probably know how to make it. Versus if they ask me, I'll be like, no. Like, te hago un huevo si quieres. Si no, pues vaya con su mamá.
Muérete de hambre.
¿Eh?
Muérete de hambre.
Vamos al McDonald's. Let's see what happened after that. So that was the 4th. We went to the danza. I think we came back on like the 5th or the 6th. Oh, look. And on the 6th, we went to go buy like last minute things that we were gonna bring to the US. Basically, honestly, like, my dad's buying hierbas or my mom buying hierbas or I didn't bring anything from over there. I just got fat.
You didn't bring any weed? Any weeds?
No. And they also brought beans. What else did they bring? Queso. They brought queso. Oh yeah, queso.
Yeah.
The panes that they made, my aunt gave us some. I don't know, I can't think of anything. On the way back, we drove again. So we drove from Zacatecas to Juarez. Oh no. So we drove from Zacatecas to Juarez. We crossed the border and then we drove all the way to like I don't fucking know where we drove, but it was like 12 at night and we were all fucking tired and I was holding the phone like this because I told my dad, I was like, oh, I found a motel. It's like 15 minutes away. He's like, okay, ese está bien, because my dad was pretty tired too. It was like already midnight and we had driven the whole freaking day. So I was holding the phone like this and because I didn't want to pass the exit. And I remember like I was falling asleep and I just remember feeling the phone like, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm looking at the address. And then again, it was like, and then my dad's like, you're tired, huh? I was like, see, because he just saw the freaking phone falling. Anyways, we drove to the hotel. We fell asleep for like a couple hours. We got up. And then we drove all the way to Utah. And, before we got here, we went to the Four Corners, which we tried to go last year, and it was closed. So, like, that little road that's like a good, like, 20-minute drive, we had to, we drove the 30 minutes to the little street, and then it was closed, so we had to drive all the way back. So we literally lost an hour drive that we could have literally been past Moab already. Anyways, this year, we stopped by, we took a couple pictures. I was like, wow, cool, amazing, fabulous. It was hot as fuck there, too. Like, there was no shade there. It was just, like, an outside thing. And they had, like, benches to sit on, but they were hot as fuck. I was literally, like, I was sweating right here. It was horrible. Anyways, we drove to the Four Corners and took a couple pictures. It was pretty cool. Like, my child could be like, yeah, I was in the Four Corners. And then, once we got here, we were locked out of our house, so we had to call my brother to the rescue. It was like 10:30, 11. And my brother had to drive from his house to our house. And yeah, so that was the trip to Mexico. I don't know if I missed any details, but I had fun. I like going to Mexico. I feel like it's a step away from reality. Well, like the rancho, because there's technically no signal over there, but they have Wi-Fi. So, like, if I want to sit there and watch TikTok, I can, but, like, you're in the rancho straight up. I tried flying my drone, too, but during the day, it was too sunny, and then we would look pale as fuck. So, I couldn't do that. And then, what else did I take? It was just my drone. I took it everywhere. I took it to Aguascalientes, too, but I didn't use it because I was shy. I was scared to get shot over there. And then, yeah, I really enjoyed going to Mexico. Hopefully we go next year and then we have more experiences. But yeah, that's it for this podcast, guys. Let me know what type of videos you guys want to see down below. Let me know what you think about this setup, about this cute ass lamp that my brother said that it was going too fast, but I told him it was great. And this background, let me know what the sounds like, the music, the light. Let me know what you guys think about it, and then also don't forget to subscribe, comment down below what part of Mexico your family's from, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.